The federal government has blamed an administrative error for its own senators backing a One Nation motion to recognise that it's okay to be white. The Senate narrowly voted down Pauline Hanson's motion 31-28 yesterday after she called on the upper house to recognise the rise of anti-white sentiment in Australia. The leader of the government in the Senate, Mathias Cormann, has apologised and says it was a mistake.
When the motion was first put forward in September and we considered our position on the motion, we made a decision to oppose that motion and to make a statement in our own words that as a government we deplore racism of any kind, but not to actually support the motion. Yesterday, as a result of an administrative process failure, the government senators in the chamber ended up on advice voting in support of the motion. As leader of the government in the Senate, I take responsibility for that error, and I'm sorry that that happened. It is indeed regrettable. As I indicated when this motion first came up, we made a very clear decision to oppose that motion. It wasn't voted on in September. It came back up yesterday and it slipped through. It shouldn't have, and I take responsibility for that.
Mathias Cormann there speaking just in the last hour or so in Canberra, and the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Tanya Plibersek, says she was shocked by the vote and says the Prime Minister needs to show leadership on the matter.
Well, I'm very surprised that he allowed senior members of his government to vote in favour of a white supremacist slogan in the Senate. I think it really is a strong challenge to Scott Morrison's authority. If he's disappointed, it's up to him to show his disappointment and show that there are real consequences to members of his government supporting white supremacist propaganda.
What sort of consequences?
Well, that's not for me to say. Surely as Prime Minister he has some levers available to him to express his displeasure.